What's up, you guys? This is a very annoyed Vindictum's Cantina here. This has been like my 10th time trying to record this today. I keep needing to stop recording because of my dog's barking. Or B, I'm having a hard time talking, and I don't want to make this a full-blown rant on the sequels. Which, warning, there probably is going to be a little bit of rants towards the sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
And of course, we have Mizuki Ravendale here,
And
and
you.
and I'm not gonna do any fancy intro for her. You know, I don't.
I don't really need a fancy
Yeah,
intro.
I just want to get this done and over with because I need to get this video done.
Yeah.
But I will say this: she has started taking a big step in a larger world with
Yeah.
getting more deep into the lore of Star Wars,
Reading the books is fun.
and we've been playing catch up on Disney Plus with all the Star Wars stuff.
Oh yeah.
So, anyways, I first saw this when Star Wars Theory and Josh from the Den of Nerds was doing their Nerd Theory podcast about how supposedly Lucasfilm reportedly reportedly looking to develop more non-canon Star Wars projects, and what the Lucasfilm VP for franchise story said is something we are interested in. The reason we approach Visions as it was is we wanted to empower specific creators within their process of medium. So much of the stuff you see in Visions, the
Specificity.
I'm telling you, like sometimes I think these VPs and presidents of these companies really, they don't need to say fancy words
Words, yeah, they don't need to, but
because they're trying to sound smart. I hate big words. It makes my freaking head hurt. Plus, I'm a stutterer, and when there's a S word like that with another, hard word after that,
yeah.
I've always had trouble with saying S words. Always have. Anyways,
I said it, so you're good.
of anime as a medium justifies a lot of storytelling. So, do I think we could do more non-timeline storytelling? I think under the Visions framework, absolutely. There is a certain joy in having celebratory content that is removed from the gravitas of the canon. And now this is the big thing, and I like seeing this. We'll have to see what the fandom wants. Okay, so I think that they've been doing this whole mindset for a while. And the reason I say that is because, let's be honest, the sequel trilogy was a flop. Not so much The Force Awakens, but The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi almost killed Star Wars. And for some people, it did kill Star Wars for them. It ruined Star Wars for them because The Last Jedi, instead of and just to accurately say how that movie feels like, it's exactly like Kylo Ren said, that, let the past die, kill it if you have to. And that's wrong. What makes Legends so great is that, yes, you do have the children of Luke, Han, and Leia, but the three legacy characters are still very much involved with their.
This is very true.
And funny thing is, there are people that hate Legends, but yet they do a better job at making sequels to Return of the Jedi than what they did with frickin' the sequel trilogy.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, every franchise has its sore spots, right?
You aren't wrong on that.
If you look at the MCU, obviously, the big movie that people don't like is Captain Marvel. And there might have been some others that people didn't like. I just know that Captain Marvel was like the big one that
It's
people
a big one, yeah.
dislike. And it's because during that time there was this whole initiative that, we need to fix something that wasn't really a problem in movies. Having great, well written female characters. But that was when they tried to do the whole narrative that there isn't anything like that, so we have to change it and make, our characters a little too perfect. Now, I have more problems with the sequel trilogy than just Rey as a character. I think all the characters suck. And the only one that actually had some pretty good character development was Ben Solo, aka Kylo Ren, and even he was a bit of a letdown of a character.
Sadly, yes.
Even though that the one that I didn't enjoy was him using his grandfather's lightsaber and him fighting just like Anakin, which was great. But I do think that they've been seeing what the fans want for a while, because the first thing the fans wanted was that we wanted Dave.
Only more.
Yeah, and we got that. We have several shows on Disney Plus, and also that they're working on. That is basically his projects, his universe, The Mandalorian,
Yeah.
The Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, and who knows what else they have behind the scenes. And then there was Clone Wars season 7, The Bad Batch. He has 5 new series on Disney Plus that he's working on. And who knows if he's actually helping out with Kenobi. I mean, he could be helping out with Kenobi. And also, hang on, let me... But that was the first thing his fans was wanting. Because, first and foremost, Dave Filoni is basically the Padawan, while George Lucas is the Jedi teacher. George Lucas taught Dave everything he knew about Star Wars.
This is very true, he did.
So in my opinion, that is why, I know some people that don't want nothing to do with Disney Star Wars, but I literally recommended one of them to at least watch the stuff that he does, because he was taught by George Lucas.
Yeah. And what he does is really good.
And not to mention, you can always tell when George approves of something that Disney does, is because he's there on set. And he was there on set for The Mandalorian. So, yeah, that's the one thing that the fans wanted that we're getting. And Mizuki went somewhere.
No, I'm right here.
Oh. Another thing that fans were wanting was a anime series, a Star Wars anime. I've saw so many people that were wanting that.
Yeah. Yeah, you aren't wrong on that.
And
in a sense, we kind of got that.
Well, we do got it. Star Wars Visions.
Yeah, with Visions.
And Star Wars Visions is not canon. And I think that's great because, the Japanese storytellers are very good at what they do, and to be honest, I feel like in some ways Star Wars inspired a lot of modern anime as well, because you have this, and I think what leads me to think that Star Wars was an influence for a lot of these animes is the fact that anime also delves into mythology and man and good versus evil, much like Star Wars does. And not to mention too, I mean, Gundam could have been inspired by Star Wars too.
You, once again, not wrong on that. There's a lot of things that there's a possibility it could have been inspired by Star Wars.
And the fact of the matter is, Star Trek never got nearly as possible as Star Wars. Star Wars, in my opinion, even though that I do own the original Star Trek movies, I've never seen them yet. I should. I can tell you one thing: I prefer Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
I think Star Trek is like, in some cases, the Dungeons and Dragons of science fiction, to where like if you watch that, you're basically a black sheep.
I mean, you aren't wrong on that.
While Star Wars feels more like Yu-Gi-Oh. If you play Yu-Gi-Oh, no one's gonna judge you because that's cool.
Once again, not wrong on any of that.
So yeah, that was the one thing fans were wanting, and we got. Another thing fans have been wanting is the return of the Clone Wars, and we got that.
Yeah.
And it's all because of that fan campaign, and when they announced the final season, they literally did a little bit of a wink and a nod to that fan movement of hashtag Clone Wars is saved.
Yeah.
Another thing fans have been wanting, and this is the one thing about the sequel trilogy I dislike, because there was no mention of this character. He never showed up at any point. He was only mentioned a few times, and we only saw his helmet. Hayden Christensen back as the Chosen One.
This, yes, has been a thing for a while.
Wait, what? You kind of cut off there.
No, it shouldn't have cut me out. My mic. But yeah, I was agreeing with you about the Hayden Christensen back as the Chosen One thing. I was like, yeah, people have been wanting that for a while.
That's what we should have gotten in the sequel trilogy, but for some reason, we didn't, because it's a known fact J.J. Abrams doesn't like the prequels.
Yeah.
And Rian Johnson, while he does like the prequels, he says something kind of asinine when, it's been canon since the 2004 special editions of the original trilogy that the canonized Force Ghost for Anakin is the younger Anakin played by Hayden Christensen.
Yep.
So, saying that Luke wouldn't recognize his dad young, yes, he would.
Yeah, he would.
Because canon is now that Anakin is a younger Force Ghost. As much as that change irritates fans, it is what it is.
This is very true. It is what it is.
You're talking to someone that also grew up with the older Anakin Force Ghost, because the first time I saw the OT was the 97 special editions. But he should have been in the sequel trilogy. And
yeah, he really should have been.
And you're also breathing kind of heavy too.
Oh.
But do I think that Kenobi's going to be the only thing he appears in? I don't think so.
I don't think so as well.
I think he's going to show up in Ahsoka as a Force Ghost.
Bro, if he does, I'm going to cry.
And the perfect time to do that is have Luke and Ahsoka talk, and finally have Anakin show up. And I've already said, and I've already told Mizuki here, I would love to hear Hayden be like, "Hey, Snips, are you
Uh,
are you still causing trouble?"
oh my god. I legit told him as soon as he told me that. I was like, I would legit start crying because, uh,
And the fact that there's been rumors that we're gonna be getting some Clone Wars flashbacks with Anakin and Obi-Wan and possibly Ahsoka. I mean,
oh,
it's not too hard to see that because of the fact that when they do Clone Wars figures in the style of live action Star Wars, they always use Hayden's
yeah,
likeness for Anakin.
yeah, they always use Hayden's likeness for Anakin.
And then they use Ewan's likeness for the live action Clone Wars Obi-Wan.
Yep. So it kind of gives you a little bit of a hint on what they would look like live action wise.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm hoping that rumor is true. I would love to see that.
I would love to see that as well.
Something else that fans have been wanting has been the KOTOR remake. And I know so many people are worried about that remake. Trust me, people are still making videos on it. People are still saying, will the KOTOR remake sucks. And I know that the people at Aspire are seeing these videos and, they do. I'm hoping that they do understand how big of shoes that they're trying to fit.
Yeah.
Because the fact of the matter is, if they screw up KOTOR, and I hate to, I hate to say this, there's a chance that people are not going to trust them to make their own Star Wars game.
You are not wrong on that.
Not to mention, too, is that Aspire is more known for ports. They're still a little bit of a smaller studio. They haven't done a big project like this, so I hope that they told this certain writer, even though that she's not the lead or senior writer, that, we're going to be keeping this game exactly how it is. Do not change a single line of dialogue.
Exactly.
But then that also brings in the debate, like, okay, why is there a writer?
That is a bit thinking of, but I think the reason why they might have brought writers might be to fix some if there's like grammar errors or something.
Yeah. Or maybe to like create new side quests too.
Yeah. So it could be both. Could be one or the other. Possibly both.
Or it is the one thing that we don't want, and they are going to be changing the story.
Yeah. Or that. Possible worst case scenario. It could be that.
And if that's the case, then they lied in the StarWars.com article. They said that they're going to stay true to the original story. And if you go to Wikipedia, they literally say that this remake is a one-for-one accurate remake, just with updated visuals and graphics. And that's what they kind of presented it as in their articles.
That is true.
So I'm pretty much holding my judgment until we hear more, and it's probably going to be a while before we hear more about it.
More about it, yeah.
We may hear more about it next year, maybe.
Yeah, considering they don't have an exact release date on it yet, yeah.
People are theorizing it's going to be out in either 2022 or 2023.
I mean, that is highly possible considering.
Oh no, not 2022. That's next year. That's way too early. Oh, I would be concerned about that.
I would be concerned too if it came out next year.
The rumors and the speculation going around is going to be 2023.
Yeah.
Another thing that fans wanted and got was the KOTOR to be ported to the Switch.
that is happening now. So,
And I pre-ordered it day one.
yep.
After I
This is
bought the
true. He
phone
did.
versions.
Yep. After he bought the phone versions, he pre-ordered that one.
And I'm hoping they do bring KOTOR 2 to the Switch.
Well, I mean, if they're bringing one, they have to bring two.
And even though that a certain article on my channel that I ripped to shreds, think that it was a bad time and it shows a problem with this. We don't know if the remake is or is not going to be on the Switch.
We don't know that yet.
Just to give you guys a little bit of a sample of what I said about that, is that Aspyr knows how the Switch is. They probably know how to scale that game down enough to fit on the Switch. It is possible. The Witcher 3 can be played on the Switch. And to be honest, there is no excuse anymore for studios to sleep on the Switch when, again, I can make the same argument all the time, is that we have The Witcher 3, which is a big freaking game.
Yeah, Witcher 3 is a big game.
And it's not just the standard version either. It's the complete edition with all the DLC.
Yeah. What's your big boy?
So, I don't want to hear the excuse that the Switch is too underpowered to be able to run certain games. Yes, it is underpowered. No one is saying otherwise. But if you guys want to hear what I fully said, then you guys can check out the video I did on the channel. So, now, the one thing that I'm hoping this leads to, because of the KOTOR remake being part of Legends, I want them to bring Legends back.
Yeah.
I want them to be able to allow writers to go back into that continuity of Star Wars. The fact that they never gave writers or comic book artists the choice, I think it's dumb, because I understand about having a streamlined canon, but there's so many great stories in Legends. Just to name, just a few little bit of the highlights here. The Darth Bane trilogy, the Plagueis book, the Thrawn trilogy of books. The Legacy of the Force, Kenobi. The Rise and Fall of Darth Vader.
They would be very quite interesting books.
Those are some of the highlights of Legends, and that's just getting into the books. If we're gonna get into the game side of things, well, KOTOR 1 and 2, Star Wars: The Old Republic, Star Wars: Force Unleashed 1 and 2, Star Wars Battlefront 2, Jedi Outcast, Jedi Academy, Rogue Squadron 1, 2, and 3, and the list goes on when it comes to great Star Wars video games.
Oh yeah.
It's clear to me that Lucasfilm is taking a turn into the right direction.
With all this, yeah.
It's definitely apparent that they're putting the fans first. Or at least acknowledge the fact that we don't want Star Wars to fail. We want to see it be the best it can be. We want good Star Wars stories. We want to work with Lucasfilm on, letting them know what we want. But during the first few years of when Disney bought them, a lot of the employees of Lucasfilm were horrible to fans.
This is very true.
And
they were.
And some of them still kind of are. A little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Like one of the writers of the High Republic literally told fans not to buy their book. And no, that's not being professional.
That no, that's publicity right there doing that.
And that's something else that needs to change too. Is that when you have these people on Twitter, they think they can say whatever they want, and most of the time, yeah, they do actually get away with it.
Yeah, most of the time, yeah, you aren't wrong on that.
And there's one other franchise that we're fans of that kind of is not in you know is not in a great spot uh, compared to Star Wars. Oh yeah, I forgot one more thing that the fans wanted: Luke Skywalker to be Luke Skywalker again, and not Jake
Yeah.
Skywalker, as what Mark Hamill likes to call the Last Jedi Luke. Is Ruby, the anime-inspired mess that Rooster Teeth
Has made.
has made. There's a lot of fans that wants to see Ruby to be the best show can be, but for some strange reason, unlike Star Wars, they don't want to admit that the show isn't as great as it used to be.
They don't want to admit it.
With the Star Wars sequels, they have admitted that, like, other than current projects like the one Halloween Lego Star Wars special that's going to be coming out, which I'm looking forward to. I love Lego Star Wars.
Yeah, I look forward to it as well.
And also Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. And of course, Hasbro's putting out a Rey lightsaber.
That is true, they are.
And of course, Funko putting out some, Episode 9 Funko Pops. You don't really hear about the sequel trilogy anymore.
Nope. Which is kind of sad when you think about it, but yeah, no, you hardly hear about it now.
It's sad. It's sad because if things were different, and if all three movies had a very good connected story instead of having three movies that totally feel different from each other. Like the fact of the matter is, Episode 7 and Episode 9 feel like they're part of the same universe, but Episode 8 just doesn't.
So they did not fit at all. It really don't.
And yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. Star Wars is definitely
taking a big leap.
Yeah, I think that Star Wars is going to keep improving, and I'm looking forward to be on this ride. Now, obviously, I'm going to be cautiously optimistic, of course.
Same.
But
I do have one thing I want to say, if you're okay.
Go ahead.
With it. They do a live action of KOTOR, or like any of the legend stuff revolving around Revan. Please get Keanu to be Revan. He fits too well.
It's kind of like that meme about how which no offense to Adam Driver, and I don't want to anger the freaking Raylos, but there's a meme we found that's pretty accurate about how Adam Driver is just a Walmart brand Keanu, and Kylo and Kylo Ren is just a Walmart branded Darth Revan. I mean,
it was a funny meme though.
I mean, I do like Adam Driver and his acting as Kylo Ren.
I do too.
It's just that the fact of the matter is, even Kylo suffered from some poor character development choices.
Yeah.
But I think that's all for now.
Yeah.
Let me know what you all think, and as always, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, hit that bell button, and as always, I'll see you all in the next video. Peace, guys.
Bye.